Most people think their liver is fine because they don't drink alcohol. But here's the uncomfortable truth. Millions of people are quietly destroying their liver every single day without realizing it. You don't feel it. You don't see it. There's no pain, no warning sign. By the time most people discover something is wrong, the damage has already been happening for years. Your liver is not just a detox organ. It controls how you process sugar, how you store fat, how much inflammation exists in your body, and how fast your metabolism ages. When your liver health declines, your entire body follows. And the scary part? Some of the most normal habits of modern life are now among the fastest ways to destroy liver function long before old age. In this video, you'll learn the real, everyday habits that silently damage your liver, why they're so dangerous for long-term health, and how to stop the damage before it becomes permanent. Why your liver matters more than you think. Most people don't think about their liver until something goes seriously wrong. But your liver is one of the most important organs for long-term survival. It controls how fat is stored in your body, how sugar is converted into energy, how toxins are processed, how much inflammation exists in your system. When your liver starts to fail, the consequences go far beyond digestion. It increases your risk of diabetes, heart disease, hormone problems, cognitive decline, and early mortality. One of the biggest myths is that liver disease is mainly caused by alcohol. In reality, the fastest growing cause of chronic liver disease worldwide has nothing to do with drinking. It's non-alcoholic fatty liver disease. This condition now affects hundreds of millions of people globally, including people who rarely drink or don't drink at all. And despite the harmless-sounding name, the progression can be just as severe as alcohol-related liver disease, leading to inflammation, scarring, cirrhosis, and eventually liver failure. Modern lifestyle has created an environment where liver damage is becoming normal, and most people don't realize they're at risk until significant damage is already present. Liver destroyer number 1, fructose overload. The single biggest driver of fatty liver disease today is not fat, it's sugar, specifically fructose. Fructose is processed very differently from other sugars. Glucose can be used by muscles, the brain, and many tissues throughout the body. Fructose, however, is handled almost entirely by the liver. When large amounts of fructose arrive at the liver, they bypass normal metabolic safety controls. Instead of being carefully regulated, fructose is rapidly converted into fat inside liver cells. This creates two major problems at the same time. First, fat begins to accumulate inside the liver, leading to fatty liver disease. Second, fructose metabolism generates byproducts that increase oxidative stress and inflammation within liver tissue. Over time, this combination overwhelms liver cells. Fat builds up. Mitochondria become damaged. Inflammation rises. What starts as simple fat accumulation can progress into chronic inflammation, scarring, and eventually permanent structural damage. The real danger is how easily fructose enters modern diets. It's found in table sugar, sweetened foods, sauces, baked goods, and especially in processed products designed to taste harmless. While fruit naturally contains fructose, it also contains fiber and nutrients that slow absorption and reduce harm. The real threat comes from added sugars and highly concentrated fructose sources that hit the liver in large doses. Your liver was never designed to process modern levels of sugar exposure, and over time, this constant overload quietly pushes it toward dysfunction. Liver health, sugary drinks, seed oils, late-night eating. Liver destroyer number 2, sugary drinks. One of the fastest ways to overload your liver is not food, it's liquid sugar. When sugar comes in liquid form, it hits your system much faster and in much higher concentration than solid food ever could. A single sugary drink delivers a massive fructose load directly to your liver within minutes. Your liver isn't built to handle that kind of speed or volume. Instead of slowly processing nutrients, it gets flooded. And when the liver is overwhelmed, excess sugar is converted into fat and stored inside liver cells. There's another problem with liquid calories. They don't trigger fullness properly. Your brain doesn't register them as real food, so you don't naturally eat less later to compensate. That means sugary drinks add extra calories on top of your normal intake. Extra calories plus fructose overload equals rapid liver fat accumulation. This doesn't just apply to soda, Fruit juices, sweetened teas, flavored coffees, energy drinks, and sports drinks all deliver sugar in a form that bypasses your body's natural appetite controls. Over time, people who regularly consume sugary beverages show higher liver fat, higher liver enzymes, and faster progression toward chronic liver disease. What makes this especially dangerous is how socially normal these drinks have become. They're marketed as refreshing, energizing, or even healthy. But metabolically, they are one of the most aggressive stressors on liver function. Liver destroyer number 3, industrial seed oils. This one surprises many people because these oils are often labeled as heart healthy. But growing evidence suggests that heavy reliance on industrial seed oils can contribute to liver inflammation and fat accumulation. These oils are found everywhere: restaurant food, packaged snacks, ready meals, sauces, and most ultra-processed products. They're high in omega-6 fatty acids, which are not inherently bad, but become harmful when consumed in extreme amounts relative to omega-3 fats. Modern diets have shifted heavily toward omega-6 dominance. This imbalance promotes chronic low-grade inflammation throughout the body, including in the liver. Inflammation makes liver cells more vulnerable to fat accumulation and metabolic stress. There's another layer of risk. Seed oils are chemically unstable. When they're exposed to heat, light, and oxygen during processing and cooking, they oxidize easily. Oxidized fats generate toxic byproducts that damage cellular structures and increase oxidative stress inside the liver. This creates an environment where fat buildup, inflammation, and mitochondrial damage reinforce each other. While research is still evolving, reducing dependence on heavily processed cooking oils and prioritizing more stable fats is a protective move for long-term liver health. Liver destroyer number 4, late-night eating. Your liver runs on a biological clock. During the day, it's optimized for processing nutrients. At night, it shifts into repair mode. When you eat late at night, you force your liver to work against its natural rhythm. Instead of repairing itself, it's suddenly dealing with incoming calories at a time when fat-burning pathways are less active. This timing mismatch increases the likelihood that late-night calories get stored as liver fat rather than being efficiently used. Late-night eating also disrupts the liver's internal clock genes, which regulate how fat and sugar are processed throughout the entire 24-hour cycle. Once these rhythms are disturbed, metabolic dysfunction doesn't just occur at night. It spills into daytime metabolism as well. People who concentrate most of their calories late in the evening tend to show higher liver fat levels compared to those who eat earlier in the day, even when total calories are similar. This isn't about digestion comfort. It's about aligning your eating pattern with your liver's natural work schedule. Creating a consistent daytime eating window gives your liver uninterrupted time at night to perform maintenance and cellular repair. Liver health, overeating, recovery, final reality check. Liver destroyer number 5, chronic overeating. One of the most overlooked causes of liver damage is not sugar alone. It's simply eating more energy than your body can handle, day after day. Your liver is one of the main storage sites for excess energy. When you consistently consume more calories than you burn, that extra energy doesn't disappear. It gets converted into fat and stored, including inside your liver. At first, this fat storage seems harmless, but liver cells packed with fat don't function normally. They become stressed, inflamed, and metabolically impaired. This process doesn't happen overnight. It happens quietly, slowly, and invisibly. Most people aren't binge eating. They're just eating slightly more than they need. A sweet drink here, a snack there, a larger portion than required. Over months and years, this small surplus adds up to substantial fat accumulation in the liver. The dangerous part is how normal this feels. Modern food environments encourage constant eating, oversized portions, and energy-dense foods. Your liver ends up acting like a long-term storage unit for excess calories it was never designed to hold. The good news is that liver fat is highly responsive to even modest weight loss. You don't need dramatic dieting. A small, sustained reduction in energy intake can significantly reduce fat inside the liver and improve liver function markers. Why these habits are so dangerous. The 5 liver-damaging factors you've just learned about share one thing in common. They are completely normal in modern life. Sugary drinks, highly processed oils, late-night eating, excess calories, hidden fructose in everyday foods. None of these behaviors feel extreme. They feel normal, and that's what makes them so dangerous. Fatty liver disease rarely causes pain in its early stages. You don't feel it happening. There's no warning signal when fat is accumulating inside your liver. By the time symptoms appear or blood tests raise red flags, the liver may already be inflamed or scarred. At that stage, reversing damage becomes much harder. This is why prevention matters more than treatment. The damage begins long before the diagnosis. The liver's hidden superpower. Here's the hopeful part. Your liver has an extraordinary ability to recover when the damaging inputs are removed. When you reduce fructose exposure, when you eliminate sugary drinks, when you eat within a consistent daytime window, when you create even a modest calorie deficit, the liver begins to unload stored fat. Inflammation decreases. Cellular function improves. In early stages, even scarring can partially heal. This isn't theoretical. It's been observed repeatedly in clinical settings. Your liver doesn't need perfection. It needs consistency. Small, sustainable changes made daily can produce meaningful recovery over months. The real question. Liver disease doesn't happen suddenly. It's built slowly, one habit at a time. Every sugary drink, every late-night meal, every excess portion, every day of metabolic overload is a quiet step toward long-term damage. But every time you remove one of those stressors, you're giving your liver space to heal. You now know what the real everyday liver destroyers are. You know how they work. You know they don't announce themselves with pain. The only question is whether you'll change the habits that are slowly harming one of the most important organs for your long-term survival. Your liver can recover, but only if you stop giving it reasons to fail.